Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Chelsea won, Crystal Palace won. The West Londoners failed to capitalise on a good early start to the game, a good early goal, and Newcastle beat Tottenham 2-1. Spurs, in my humble opinion, were without doubt the better team in that second half. They were dangerous, they were strong, they were potent, they were energetic. But Newcastle came up trumps in the end. We want to get your views. We want to have your opinions. I want to know what you think and feel about the results today. What does it tell us? Whether the improvements need to come. What were the good elements that we're seeing today? Leave us your comments below. Make sure you hit the like button, though. And if you haven't joined our notification group chat, it's right there. Make sure you're in it now. You'll never miss any of our live streams, any of our shows ever again. Panel coming for you soon. We want to get them in and out quickly because we all want to watch, of course, the game that kicks off in 30 minutes' time. But I'm going to start with Chelsea. Poor defending again today was a big problem for Chelsea. Not in the first half. In the first half, Chelsea looked calm on the ball. They appeared like relationships were starting to build. Palace had a few good passages of play, but didn't really penetrate, didn't look dangerous, barring one shot from Wharton. And I felt Chelsea were in complete and utter control for large parts of that first half. They took the lead very, very well. It was a wonderful counter-attack. Madueke, the whole first half looked dangerous. Probably should have scored a goal or two himself. Cole Palmer doing Cole Palmer things. Neto on the left-hand side was a menace. I thought Enzo and Caicedo picked up where they left off in the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Dominant, strong, good decision-making, excellent distribution as well. And then in the second half, I think Palace opened up a bit more and attacked. And I just saw that poor Chelsea defending that was very evident in pre-season. 2 or 3 passes and you're in on goal or you're getting opportunities. And that led to a crazy stat. And I'm not sure if it changed before the end of the game. But up until like the 88th minute, Palace ended up having more touches in Chelsea's box than Chelsea had in theirs. And I think that was how easy it was to play through them. I thought Enzo Fernandez in the second half faded. Really good second half against Wolves. Excellent first half today, but a really poor display from him in the middle for the second half. And the goal in itself, look, it was an excellent strike from Eze. Excellent from Eze. Excellent strike from him. It truly was. The way he curled it into the far corner, brilliant. But the amount of space that a player of his quality was given on the edge of the box is criminal. And look, I've seen Chelsea fans over the last 2 or 3 days since signing Sancho, not that he was available today, talk about the strength and the potency and the quality of the Chelsea team and the attack. So I'm going to judge them as such. I'm going to talk about them as such and say, well, I expect better from them. They're going into the 3rd year of their project, and that defending was poor. After that, it was a really, really good game. Both teams had opportunities to win it. The biggest for me came to, I think his name is Kamada, 76th minute, probably should have scored. That was up until Nico Jackson. And Nico Jackson, I think, demonstrated exactly why Chelsea fans wanted Osimhen or a Gyökeres or an Ivan Toney. There's one chance where he should play João Felix in, but he doesn't. He shoots from a really difficult angle, and then he gets the one-on-one chance in the 93rd minute. Everything else Nico Jackson did was perfect, but he just doesn't find the right shot. And that, for me, is always going to be Nico Jackson. He'll score you 15 goals in a season, maybe 20 goals in all competitions. But when it comes to those pressured, high adrenaline moments where you need people to be cool, calm, and collected, I'm just not sure if he's that individual. Lots of positives today for Chelsea. There's no doubt about it. There really is lots of positives, but still lots and lots to work on as they go into the 3rd year of their rebuild. And Chelsea fan here says it, and I think this is fair. Uncomfortable conversations about Enzo. Look, he's had 2 good halves of football so far this season. He needs to start turning that into full games. That doesn't mean every minute of every game he has to be absolutely perfect. That's crazy. But he can't let second halves at home in the Premier League go by like that. In my humble opinion, he can't be doing that. Terry, we dominated. Terry, we were dominant, Terry. Way more XG shots and possession. Isn't that the logic? If Chelsea would have won that late on, I wouldn't have stated that you were undeserving of it. So one thing I've said about Chelsea is your approach play at times is very good, but you're too easy to play through, especially in that second half. The first half against Wolves, City did it. Loads of preseason games were the same. Servette played through you home and away in both legs. That to not address that and to ignore that as a Chelsea fan, I think is really disingenuous to your own football club. You did create chances, though, and the one thing you haven't heard me say, your approach play is excellent. You will create chances, but it's about finishing them. Noni Madueke scored a brilliant hat-trick last week, deserved to be praised. He missed 2 gilt-edged sitters today, deserves to be criticised for that. Because I feel like Chelsea have dropped 2 points today. I don't think it's a point gain. I think it's just 2-point drops because you were more dominant for large parts of the game and you should have nailed that home. When it comes to Tottenham, look, I had both games on. First half, I thought Newcastle were the better team, personally. Marginal, but I thought they were the better team. Harvey Barnes, his goal was amazing. And then the second half begun, and I'm sure Strasbourg Steve, who's coming on in a moment, was tearing his hair out. Spurs were quick, strong, dangerous, and a goal was coming. I didn't think it would be an own goal, but I was glad to see that giraffe because I don't have a personal issue with Dan Burn. Every time he plays Man United, he turns into fucking Maldini. So I've got a little personal gripe. They equalize, and okay, Spurs are going to go on to win now. Spurs will go on to win. They're dominant. They're slapping Newcastle up in the second half. No problem. And then, listen, I don't want to use the Spursy trope because I think maybe we're getting to a point where it's milked. But all that dominance, all that forward thinking, all that attacking. There's a great line. If you watch the film Departed, when Matt Damon's character and Jack Nicholson's character, it's right near the end. I'm not going to say what happens. They're having an argument. And Matt Damon's character says, "Why did you always take me in as a young kid? Why haven't you got a son of your own?" He said, all that effing, all that fucking and no kids, right? And it just reminded me of Spurs today, right? All that fucking and no kids. And then Alexander Isak, courtesy of Murphy, I think it was Murphy, tucks it away. Spurs lose. And I think Spurs fans will be so frustrated with not capitalizing on their dominance in that game. Doesn't mean Spurs were awful. That's my opinion. Spurs fans may see it differently. But I will add, I was definitely focusing more on the Chelsea game than I was the Spurs game. But I thought they were going to go on to win it. But Newcastle pick up that W. Isak scores again. 20-plus shots. But Newcastle score all the goals. Spursy is what's said here. When you actually say it like that, it's crazy. Terry, will the ref for the Chelsea game get as much airtime in the show today as the ref did for the Arsenal game? What did he do wrong? What did he do wrong? I need you. What player should have been sent off? What penalty should have happened? What goal was wrongfully given? Please let me know, my bro. Played well, Terry. Played really well, but again got caught by a stupid counter. This is what is frustrating me the most. Feels like this club has not learned anything from last season. Huge fouls. Oh, okay, so huge foul. But this is the thing. Hughes could have been sent off. I agree. That's what you're talking about. Hughes early in that second half. But this is why yesterday's red card was so egregious. Because 9 times out of 10, they give somebody one final warning, and they did. So that's why I couldn't understand and fathom the heat I was getting for saying, yes, it's a letter of the law, but they don't exercise it. Howard Webb come out and said, we're instructing them to try and not send people off. So to do it yesterday was the anomaly, therefore it was criticized. So it's crazy. Listen, I understand. Hughes probably should have gone. But we've seen it already this season. Handballs when people have been on yellow cards, not given. That's why yesterday's was weird, because they're not giving all the others. I think it proves the point. No one ever tell me Romero is underrated. Burn guy. These bums will keep defending Enzo. He's so bad. Hughes should have been sent off, and Kamada, no card. Chelsea won't survive against top 6 teams. Well, we'll see. This is where Eze would have made the difference for Spurs. I hate Levy so much for screwing us over. Yeah, he was great today, Eze. Hughes pulled Palmer down behind for a yellow. Yeah, I understand it. I understand what you're saying, but then they're very, very rarely given. You will see it given 1 in 20 times, which is why people moan and criticize it, because why this particular time? So I think it proves yesterday's point. Time for the panel now. We've got Judge Mo here. We've got Kate here. We've got Winter Surfer. We've got Man Like Steve. We've got David here as well. I'm going to go to Mo first. On Chelsea today, they started well. They got the lead. But it felt, up until the last couple of minutes with Jackson missing chances, it felt like Chelsea really faded again in that game.
Yeah, I didn't like Chelsea today. They weren't dominant. They weren't in control. Like, I felt like the first half, they had some control of the game. And in the second half, when Glasner opened the game up, Chelsea completely lost control, as they were expecting Crystal Palace to just drop deep for them. And they didn't. They left 3 men behind the ball all the time, Crystal Palace. They had a couple of good passes, and I thought Chelsea should have punished them, and they didn't. Because Crystal Palace weren't defending with like 10 men behind the ball the whole game. They left a lot of spaces, and I'm expecting the explosive players like Neto, Madueke, Palmer to do something, and they just didn't. And again, Chelsea, one of the things that I wanted David and Winter Surfer's opinion on this, some of the decision-making today from everyone on the pitch were so like individual, like Madueke. Sometimes he would make the individual decision. Even Joao Felix, when he came on, Cole Palmer, he tried to pass, but again, there was nobody making the run, bar Jackson sometimes. Neto was trying so hard to prove something to somebody, and they forgot that the first goal they scored, where everyone was just, I'm going to pass to my teammate. Even Cole Palmer just saw Jackson early. Chelsea today, again, went back to the individual guys. They weren't good. Defensively, it's a mistake that happens, but you should be able to go back into the game. You have the quality, but the players made the wrong decisions all the time. Poor from the players. Poor from the players today. All of them, to be honest, especially in that second half. Jackson missed a couple of chances, but they didn't create enough chances in the second half. It's very poor. This is an opportunity missed from Chelsea to win against Crystal Palace, who, again, they weren't amazing, Crystal Palace today. It's very poor from Chelsea sometimes. Sometimes I feel like Enzo Maresca need to put his hand down and say, you need to be a team again. This is too much individualism on the pitch. This is so frustrating for Chelsea fans. I understand why some of the fans on the pitch were like a little bit calm. They didn't like, nobody was trying to cheer up until the 8 minutes in the last part of the game. Very, very poor management from the players. And also maybe Enzo Maresca needed to put his hands down and say, you need to go back to be a team. You need to go back to be a team. This is when I think it got into their head in the last game, scoring 4 goals in the second half. Oh, we're so much better than the oppositions. We can win by any means. It's crazy how you think like one game can be that good, and then the second half of this game was so poor. Like, it's so slow, not good enough from Chelsea, to be honest. I don't know what the guys think, but I didn't enjoy Chelsea in the second half at all.
What do you make of it today, David? Do you agree with Mo's assessment there of your team today?
I agree, but I don't know why everyone's shocked by it. This is the thing I'm confused about. Why are you acting like we've had this same manager for the past 4 years? Fair enough, if this was Arsenal, I'd get the criticism because, you know, you expect a lot more from them. This is us. We've got a brand new system with 8 brand new players starting for us. I'm not expecting consistency from minute one. Like, it's just, I literally said last week, I was like, it wouldn't shock me this week if we lost 2-1, just because I expect for the start, the first 20, 25 games, for it to be very up and down, because that's just the nature of building in a brand new system with.
You're giving excuses, David. David, you're giving excuses.
No, but it's not. How is that an excuse? What, we have got a brand new manager who's playing a brand new system, but I should expect consistency.
Because you had a good half, David.
That's not how it works. That's just not how it works.
I guess, did you think you were going to beat Palace today?
Every team, whenever they get a brand new manager, there's new manager bounce, or there's like a period where you do really well and then it drops off. You don't continue doing that because teams will figure you out. Teams will set up differently against you, and the players haven't played it in a game situation. We haven't had this guy for 5 years. We've had him for 3 games. So to expect consistency, I think, is wild. I'm not shocked by this, like, at all. But bottom line is, we should have been, where I will criticize players, we should have been probably 3-0 up before they'd scored anyway. But we missed it.
Thank you.
And then no, I'm not certain, guys, who won't blame the team. No, Mo, like,
Okay.
I get the like the criticism, but I'm expecting it's a sort of a thing where I expect it to happen, so I'm not annoyed by it. But we should have been have been 3-0 up before we even got to that stage.
I agree with David. I agree with David. I don't think David's making excuses at all. I think he's speaking about the reality of the situation from his perspective. And we all said this last week. Chelsea fans should have celebrated that 6-2 win and loved it. But when you see, and Don's a standout example. You know what? We might catch Liverpool now. We might catch Arsenal now. I told everyone we're going to cook. And essentially, he hasn't used the words we're going to be consistent. But you can't talk about finishing above those teams without consistency being a byproduct. Fairness to David and a lot of Chelsea fans, they were like, I'm celebrating, I'm happy, but lots still to work on. And I think that was seen today. We'll come back to Chelsea in a minute. Kate, Spurs today played well at times, but you couldn't get the W. And then Isak Dagger very late on. Talk to us, Kate.
Listen, do you know what? Already I've seen so many people slagging Ange off. Today wasn't on Ange. Today was on sloppy defending, Romero ball watching on more than one occasion. Apologies, Jacob. And 2, us not being able to finish our dinner. I truly believe if we had Solanke or Richarlison up front, we win that game. We had so many chances in the second half. It was unbelievable. But you don't finish your dinner against the top team. They've got one of the best goal scorers in the league, and you're going to get punished. You know, for me, it's not on Ange. People will use it as another stick to beat him with, the ones that are already Ange out. But for me, it was just the players didn't deliver where they needed to. And Newcastle seem to have this thing over us at their place. We just cannot beat them.
No, do you concur with that, Jacob, in terms of overall happy with the performance, but just need to fix up in a few little areas? Or do you feel there's more problems than that, mate?
For me, I thought that we dominated for the most part of that match. We just were toothless in attack yet again. It's the story of Tottenham since last year in regards to we control all the ball. We make a couple mistakes. Now we're a couple people out of position. And, you know, in regards to Cuti Romero, I already see the comments. Y'all want to know what my thoughts on Cuti Romero. Look, I'll just ask my generational GOAT, which is Lionel Messi, what he thinks of Cuti Romero. And he says he's the best center back in the world, so I operate as such. Have I played more ball? Do I know more ball than Lionel Messi? I would say no. But moving along from that, Ange Postecoglou did a risky thing in regards to moving Romero into the left-sided center back, letting Dragusin play on his favored right. I thought that was an interesting choice. For about the first 25 minutes, he looked kind of shaky on the ball. He looked positionally like he wanted to be on the right-hand side of the pitch. And he didn't look very comfortable on the left, if I'm honest. So, yeah, he wasn't good. But there were a lot of times in which he or Dragusin did stop the counterattacks with headers, with clearances, with blocks. So I think if you're going to keep that energy, you got to keep it the same in regards to when he did do well. Just because he was not flawless on the day doesn't mean he did not perform well, in my opinion. Yes, he made a mistake, but I also look at that throw-in. The first goal that they scored was a quick throw-in. To me, we turned off. Pedro Porro allows that man to get in a position. He allowed it all day. He was allowing number 11, Harvey Barnes. He was allowing him all day, doing whatever he wanted. He was looking the most dangerous. Pedro Porro did nothing to close that down. Dragusin saved him a few times. And again, you're going to get caught out the more and more that keeps happening. And that's what happened, especially when we're not doing anything on the other end. We're just controlling the ball. We go back to Horseshoe Hotspur and we just ping it left and right. Someone do some. You saw the last 20 minutes of the match. We just fell off. We died attacking wise. Zero creativity. No one wanting to make runs. It was just all around, we got deflated. Now, again, St. James Park, the last 3 years, it's been 3 L's. This has been the least heavy of a loss, but it is still a loss nonetheless, because I felt like even if we had walked away with a draw, I felt like that would still not be fair enough to us, because we did play a good game. We just could not finish our chances. We created a lot. We kept shooting straight at the keeper, or the keeper was making great saves. Why is Sarr the guy shooting from outside the box and not Son? That is baffling me. I'm getting frustrated to a point where I don't know what it is. If it's Ange, if it's the captaincy that's causing Son to rather involve his teammates rather than take on the shot. To me, I'm very frustrated with my team, very frustrated with that performance. Not a lot of hope. I wanted to go and have a really good performance, spend international break talking to me nicely all night, and then we come back and we win the North London Derby because no Rice. That's what I was wanting. But instead, 2 weeks of no one talking to me nicely, and now we're going to North London Derby. And my only hope is the fact that they have no Declan Rice. Maybe Basuma will be okay. I don't know. I just struggling.
I hear you, mate. From your point of view, Steve, a very, you probably were feeling the pressure in that second half with Spurs attacking, but a very important win for Newcastle ahead of the international break.
Yeah, but we play like a relegation team. This is the progress that I'm failing to see from a play style perspective. Results, yeah, that's great. But to be honest, yeah, if Spurs, Kate, you said it earlier. If you had a Solanke, I think you probably win that game. Because we didn't generate enough in attack. I mean, we did because we won, but we did it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm obviously just thrilled about the win, but like, this isn't sustainable. I'll say that. This isn't sustainable unless we get Botman back and Schär back. Obviously, he's got sent off. So I'm happy, but I recognize there's a lot of like going forward. We don't look dangerous. We don't. Anthony Gordon this year has not been good. Isak, you said he was keep scoring goals. He's got 1 goal in 4 games this year. Now, I expect a little bit better from him. I think he'll pick up, but yeah, like. I just feel like we didn't have to be at our best at all to beat Spurs. We were just clinical. I think that's literally it. And Pope, for me, was probably man of the match. I gave it to Joe Ellington, which he did play the ball to Murphy, a great through ball. The highlight really costed you there because it was the through ball from Joe to Murphy and then to Isak. So,
the man of the match. I don't know if you're aware of this. The man of the match is actually the one that you see officially. It's picked by the broadcasters in the UK.
Yeah,
and they were going in on Pope for the goal. So yeah, it's interesting. You're watching it with different commentators. Obviously, maybe a different perspective. But I hear what you're saying there. But look, I think from a point
perspective, finish was quality.
That was great.
Reminded me of the Xerxes. I think it was the same.
I think even better. It was really good. But 7 points from your opening 9, from a points perspective, a very good start to the season. Young Daniel. Another defeat for Tottenham. Another day we don't finish your dinner. How you feeling about it, mate?
Disgusted, man. I'm really heartbroken because I don't think we played really badly. I think that we controlled the ball. We controlled Newcastle. And at the end of the day, I just think we were very, very unlucky. We hit the woodwork a couple times. A lot of people on the panel saying that if we would have had a striker, it would have been a different story. But we had Solanke versus Leicester, and he didn't finish his chances either. So
that's a good point.
I don't know what it is. We just have the ball next to their box, outside their box, and we're creating chances the whole game, but it just doesn't seem to go to the back of the net. I don't know how many shots we had. It has to be more than 20 shots in this
35.
game. 35. And the goal came from an own goal. Like I don't know what to tell you.
Only 20.
That is insane.
20.
No,
That's
35.
actually
Kate, only 20, Kate.
Yeah, it was 20.
35 shots. I didn't say they were on target. I said 35 shots we had.
No, total shots is 20 anyway. 20,
hang on that. So they had 20. Do you know what it is? I want to have a look at something.
Because I looked at 2 websites to make sure that's 20.
Yeah, I'm on top of the score right now.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from, but you know that if a shot is blocked, on a lot of the stat websites, that doesn't go under the shots category. So Spurs had 8 shots. Yeah, they had 8 shots that were blocked. Plus, they actually this set of sites is 28, so they all ran them a bit differently.
This is why stats.
If you notice that sometimes you'll watch a game and you'll be like, I don't only have 2 shots on target. So you have a shot that's on target, but within a meter or 2 of it being shot, a defender blocks it. That doesn't count as a shot on target or a shot. It counts as a shot blocked. So yeah, you got to stats can be a little misleading like that. But sorry, Dan, back to you, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, and I saw Jacob was talking about Christian Romero. I think Romero was actually good today. Like, to be honest, I think he was good. First time I left center back with Dragusin. They've never played as a partnership together. For them to, I'm sorry, but there's so many times where Newcastle could have easily had a chance, and then Christian Romero just does his trademark slide tackle and just saves Tottenham. That happened like 5 times.
And just headers, yes.
Just because he made 1 mistake doesn't mean that he had a bad game. That's how people don't understand.
He was out of position. It wasn't even a mistake. The tactics pull him forward and put him in that position. That's why he was that far up pressing.
Moreno-
This was
Romero,
Saliba. If this was Saliba doing that, you'd be all over Saliba, Jacob.
Romero's-
Well, Saliba's dog shit
Romero-
passing. I'm all over
No,
for sure, but Romero ain't got that. So
Don't even start that. He had a bad. It's
Romero's
okay.
done it
It's
twice
okay
this
to admit your favorite player had a bad game for once. It's
He's done
okay.
it twice.
I said he made mistakes. I did say he made mistakes. He's not my
Guys,
favorite
one
player
at
either.
a time. Guys, one at a time. We can't hear
You're not gonna
anybody.
burn. You're not gonna burn.
It's
You know what I mean?
incredible,
It's all
man.
good.
I mean, Romero
Okay.
could have had a goal. I'm pretty sure he has scored a goal and it was offsides by a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
How'd that work?
I mean,
He was,
yeah.
he was well offside. It wasn't a little.
Steve,
I hear you.
don't
I
you
get,
stop.
I get where you're coming from. Just Winter Surfer, from your point of view today, obviously you didn't lose. You didn't capitalize on a really good start. What camp are you in? There are some Chelsea fans in here going in on Enzo, really angry. There are others that are being a bit more balanced, like David. Like, where are you at with the dropping of points today?
So let me just start. The red card made no. If it was a red card, it made no difference to the game because we should have been 2 or 3-0 up before that. Madueke's chance in the first half was on his left foot, not his right foot. Was on his stronger left foot, and he missed basically an open goal. We had the chances. We battered them for 50 minutes, and then they scored. They had one chance of Sanchez save. They didn't really do anything after that. I thought we handled them well defensively when they got into the area and everything like that. And then that chance, we've all said it. That one chance that a striker gets, and Jackson didn't take it. That's the difference is you can say it's the missed chances. And I think David and I will be sitting here most of the season for multiple games going, we didn't take enough chances. And this is the thing. I agree with you, Terry. It's not 1 point gain. It's 2 points dropped today. It's 2 points dropped today from us. Mm-hmm. We battered them, absolutely battered them. And I can understand Crystal Palace the way they played. We've beaten them 13 straight games. So I can understand how they're playing, but I agree. Some of the substitutions were a bit, bringing on Nkuku with 5 minutes to go and then play him on the right wing. I don't understand that. That needs to be answered. Maybe should have brought Vega on in midfield and solidified that a bit more. But no, it's disappointing. It's 2 points definitely dropped. We should have won this game. I should be sitting here on 6 points. And signing for
I want to
international.
just add the point. What Jackson did today, with everyone in the chat and everyone on Twitter slaughtering him, he scored a goal and he missed an open goal and they dropped 2 points. It's exactly what Kai Havertz did yesterday. By the way, Jackson throughout the game was okay. But when that chance came to him to get the 3 points, he just didn't deliver. It's exactly what Kai Havertz did yesterday. Scoring a goal. But it does not justify missing that chance because that is 3 points that it could have been.
No, I hear you, and I think that's where I think when you're a team that wants to get back to the top, when you're sort of going into your third year of your rebuild, yes, it's a new manager with new system, but the club hasn't torn up its overarching plans. It's moving. Let's get through this super chat before the end because the big game's kicking off now. But it says, "Happy Father's Day to every father in Australia. Unfortunate Spurs couldn't give you a Father's Day present. Yeah, big up to all the dads out there. No excuse." No excuse. We had chances, man. Enzo needs to be benched. Legit. Too many mistakes. Teach him a lesson.
On the level, can I just say,
this is ridiculous.
Game, regardless of unless Enzo plays a 10 out of 10 performance, everyone just calls him dreadful. I actually he wasn't amazing today. But he wasn't bad.
Yeah.
The hate is crazy.
He didn't miss the chances. He didn't miss the He set up Madueke for one. He set up Madueke who scored one. I mean, this is ridiculous.
It's too early to compare. Is it too early to compare Harvey Barnes with Jota and Leo? That finish was exquisite. By the way, too much football. Even officials are getting ball injuries. Yeah, there's a
He's not as good as
Dan. Sorry, I need to get through because I want to get to the game. Sorry, boys and girls. Dan, the lineup, man. Spurs and Arsenal starting 11s when the North London derby rolls around is going to hit like crack. I will be there no matter what. For those who are saying Rice red card legit, ball was rolling with Veltman. Yeah, look, we understand that. I don't think it's about it whether it was a yellow or not. It's about why was that one given and multiple others are not. That's still the argument.
Terry,
to me.
does one wrong make another one wrong? Two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I mean?
No. Well, but that's what everyone's complaining about. They're saying that you rarely give it and then you suddenly do. That is a problem. I'm getting through the super chats. United are kicking off. I'm sorry. Have a system and stick with it. Versatility and rotation doesn't help football in general. It ruins games. First half was 4 at the back. Second half was 3 at the back. It's way too much interchange. Too many managers do it. I think that was also through injury that happened as well. David, stop the excuses. Chelsea have a 44-man squad and spent 1.5 billion and counting. Squad full of players. Back-to-back games where Don is hiding. Yeah, I don't know where Don is. I don't know where Don is. And thank you, Mo. Chelsea players are playing for themselves and not the club. A bunch of strangers on the pitch. Listen, Pete, we are live after Man United versus Liverpool, and we will be touching more on these games on the Top 6 show tomorrow. Until then, take care. Goodbye. Go on, Rashford. And we'll see you all again soon. This is going to take you through the Mo's channel, Hassam's channel. Go watch it. Take care. Peace.
Yeah.